This is CTV, and the show is called Be in the Business. I'm your man, Jamie Thurston Wyngaard, and we are talking about entrepreneurship. You are sitting at home being that entrepreneur. You might know an entrepreneur, or you might be running your own business. But the truth is, entrepreneurship is not as easy as it seems. We check out Instagram, we see how glamorous it is, but there's so much behind the scenes of an entrepreneur. And today we have Unathi in studio with us. Yes, gorgeous woman. Yes, good to have you here. And Anat's going to share her story around entrepreneurship and her hardships, and then see how we can learn from what she's learned. So we don't have to run into the same mistakes as well. But before we go into that, Unati, who is Miss Unati?
Unathi is Unathi Thetiwe, born and bred in Cape Town. A background in marketing, a background studying entrepreneurship, a background. Well, my first academic accomplishment was a national diploma in hospitality management. Yes, so hospitality management, BTech in marketing, and another BTech in entrepreneurship.
Just a study queen.
I am,
Looking at papers.
but it has come in quite handy. It has come in quite handy. So, yeah, so an entrepreneur, the founder, co-founder of Phil Gorge Beauty Bar, co-founder of Sparkling Convenience Services, and currently a director at Khaltsha Call Centre.
The list is going on. I want to unpack. So you went to study, you got multiple certificates and diplomas behind your name, and you use that information to start your businesses.
Yes,
So you mentioned three businesses now.
100%.
Give me some lowdown. Give me the tea on those businesses.
So Phil Gorge was the first baby,
Mhm.
still is the eldest, because now you get to call them kids, because that's how you handle a business, because they're so demanding. So Phil Gorge is started from weaves, right?
Weaves,
Yes,
as in
as in
patch of weave.
as in patch of weave babs.
Okay.
Yes. So what happened with that was I got change from CPT from a bursary, around about 80,000, and
80,000 change.
that was the change. I also didn't understand, but luckily I had some bit of wisdom as to
But I can say you worked for that because it was a bursary.
100%.
So it wasn't someone just randomly gave you money. This is something you worked towards, and you were able to manage that money effectively.
And I could have
Nice.
bought an iPhone. I could have bought a car.
As we do.
100% correct. And I was like, what am I going to do with this money?
Mm.
And then, to be honest, I don't know where weaves came about. And I've always been a beauty person. I noticed, like in high school, I used to take my change, like lunch money, and then I used to go in town and randomly go to Kachabula, buy myself weaves. I asked myself, why don't they have weaves where you can actually tie them up and then it looks natural and all of that? And that's what the industry has developed into. And that's where Phil Gorge came in. Didn't take long. Within a week, I bought myself an invoice book. I bought packaging. I researched suppliers, buy things, test them. I like this quality, and then I started marketing,
Nice.
and that took off. And then I met a business partner who was in the same industry. She saw my potential. I saw her access to the market, which is China, where you can buy some. Well, China is one of the countries where you can buy hair. And then we made that work. And then we thought of, we're both entrepreneurs, we're both ambitious, people that just love exploring, quite curious. And then we decided we're gonna wash bins, because she lives in Montana.
Wash bins.
Wash bins.
Okay, this is now another business.
This is Sparkling Convenience Services. Did I
Okay.
move on too quickly from Phil
No,
Gorge?
that's I'm
Okay.
just keeping tabs here. So we done the weaves.
Yes,
Your next business is now
Sparkling
this
Convenience.
cleaning service.
100% correct. Which you were one of our first
Yeah.
clients.
Oh, thank you. I had to try out your service too.
So that initially was washing bins, right? So we were like, okay, this business is starting somewhere else. So it was an existing business model. We're not that creative when it came to that. And then we were like, let's wash bins. And then we started washing bins. And then we were like, no, this is too much work. And then we started planning how we're gonna create employment, how we're gonna hire more people. But then as we were thinking of that, so sometimes you start a business, then you start planning. Some people start planning, then they start a business. So we've been working the other way around of starting, then planning. Then we're like, this is not for us. We are not that handy. Then we moved on to house parties and
Okay.
cleaning houses.
That's where you became my client.
That's it, yes, 100%, because you were having a situation, and then we were still like, girl, we're not handy people. But then we got another opportunity. Luckily, the name of the business was Sparkling Convenience Services, which then that is very broad. So it allows you to go into different avenues. So we met this guy where he was selling, actually, we thought of Habli Bubblies. Then we met a guy that was selling these little what am I going to call it? Charging stations, where you
Okay.
can charge multiple phones. And they were
Mm.
like, we love entertainment. How about we actually go where we usually spend our money and go make money? Mm.
Ah.
Yes. So now we're like, okay, we can charge because people we've been in the same situations. You need to Uber home, your phone is flat, you have to answer someone's phone. They don't trust
Mm-hmm.
you, they don't know
Mm-hmm.
you. It's this whole dilemma. We're like, okay, let's do this. Let's charge phones. And then we did that. And then we moved on to Hablibab because now you're in the environment.
Yeah.
Now you see other business
You are just
opportunities.
adding on, making more. It's like you're an opportunity queen. You scout the opportunities and you bring it in.
100%.
Your latest venture now, though, you got so much business. I feel like you can give us a list. You can write the Bible.
The latest venture, how that came about, sorry to cut you
Mm-hmm.
there. My CEO is here, Zandi Letlapi. So she reached out. We know each other from, entrepreneurs, you network, you go to conferences,
Definitely.
you get to meet. And some relationships stay in the mind. They're not used on the spot, but they're used later. So she reached out. She's like, Nati, listen here, I've got this concept. I saw the concept already.
Mm-hmm.
And at the back of my mind, I was like, oh my God, how would I involve? How could I get involved? But when someone is starting, as a business person, you learn to respect
Yeah.
their business. Before you jump in, you learn to respect their business. But luckily for me, the universe is like, they need you there. They want you there. We're going to make Uzandile reach out. She reached out to me and she's like, I need another female. So she had another guy in the business, another guy who's the co-founder, and then it was herself. She's like, listen, yeah, I need another person, to add strength, to the business so that
Nice.
we can take it far. And then being an opportunist, and already I was in love with the business before I got it. I was like, I'm definitely game.
And this is
then
the business of a call center
this is
based
the
in
first
Khaltsha.
call center at Khaltsha, first call
Sure.
center in a township in Cape Town. And the reason for that, there's plenty of land,
Mm.
and there's a lot of discussions around land. And just not to just use land for housing, use it to grow the economy,
Mm.
use it
Mm.
to create employment. The rate is just going higher from 26%
Yep.
of unemployment, and it just gets higher and higher and higher. The government is asking entrepreneurs to start things so that they can work together, to make South Africa a better place, to make the rand stronger, because that gives us enough international opportunities and we get to live the lives that we meant to
You
live.
are preaching. I love that you took call centers that people you travel to and brought them back into the townships. And I feel like if there are any people out there that want to support this call center, you can definitely get in touch with Unathi and take this conversation online as well. Because there's so much that can happen. The difference of the call center in town and call center within the community is the traveling time, the stresses. You can get the service right there, right now.
100%.
And I like that you're able to do this and train those people up. And I'm sure there might be people that want to start working and they can come and work with you.
100%.
So guys, get us on social media and we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to find out more about Unathi's challenges as an entrepreneur. This is Being the Business on CTV. I'm your man, Thurston Wyngaard, and we've been having an interesting conversation with Unathi Thetiwe. She's had a list, a Bible of business experience, and she still has a whole lot more. Before we go into selling this business even more, because Unathi, I feel like I can sell you right now, like off the shelf. Not that I'm into human trafficking. That's not a good thing. But I want to first, you definitely qualify.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to go into you from all this business experience. What were the main challenges that you had in this? And I know that you always look good. And to run into business to do business isn't a cheap thing. And just tell me your challenge, but how are you able to manage all of these things?
Okay, so I'll try to do challenges as per business, then it will make me remember most of them. So when it comes to Phil Gorge, it was quality. Quality was the downfall of Phil Gorge. Hence I worked with my business partner because she had access to, the buying markets. So what used to happen is that I used to use online platforms or research on Facebook and then see who's selling hair and then negotiate prices. But
where did you run that business? Was that the business you ran from home?
That's the business I ran from home.
And how was that challenge with you with running a business from home?
So the problem was when the business was small, I didn't have much people and I was going out more to clients to deliver. And then as the business grows, you become innovative and then you add services. So I added services like coloring hair, added services like sewing wigs. So now I had more people coming in at home, which kind of invaded the privacy, of my family. in terms of too many people in the house. They
Mm.
have to walk down the passage, so they get to see all the other rooms. So if my sister, for instance, didn't feel like cleaning the section that she needs to clean at the time that she wants, because she's used to cleaning whenever she wants to,
Mm.
but now certain spots of the house has to be clean at certain times because people are coming, you know, and you get those conflicts.
Mm.
There are times when I am dealing with 30 clients in a day. I've got 30 weeks. I need to make sure they are sewed. They need to be out. All I do is I sleep, I wake up, literally like
Sure.
30-minute naps, wake up, sew. So you can imagine the mess. And now
Mm.
I'm using the dining table, and now dinner needs to be served, and here is my mess, and I'm not even paying rent. So you know there was those conflicts, and then you start thinking of I need to move out and have my own place.
Mm.
But then since you're not managing your finances right, you believe that you don't have enough money to rent out. But only to find out if you were managing your finances quite well, you would afford to rent out, and that would even scale the business even
Sure.
more.
So there's two lessons, the two challenges: working at home and how invasive that is,
Mhm.
and also managing your finances correctly.
Yeah.
I know the working from home thing is quite a big trend now because people are doing the shift now of COVID and being at home and working from home. Not everybody's able to work from home. We couldn't have done this at home,
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Uh-huh.
which would have maybe been ideal.
Yeah.
But there's still that invasiveness, and a lot of entrepreneurs have been doing the work from home for years.
Yeah.
We've been doing this, so it's not a new thing for us. But we still had these same issues of the working from home situation.
Mm.
And I think I want to find out more about how you solved that. So you looked at your finances
Mhm.
and you looked at being able to move out. That was the one business issues.
Mm.
Your next business issues. Tell me more, girl.
The next business issue between Phil Gorge and Sparkling Convenience Services, when you go into a partnership, it is a marriage. People need to understand that the same fundamentals that you apply in a marriage are the same fundamentals that you're going to apply in a business partnership.
That sounds so hectic with someone with commitment issues. They're not going.
So the thing
Yeah.
is, your values have to be aligned. The
Mm.
vision has to be aligned. Allow the other one's strength to take over when they need to, and then allow the other one's weakness to be corrected in the meantime, so that the business can soar the way it's supposed to soar. At the same time, you are learning from the other one. You are transferring skills, and you're transforming together. You're growing together, transforming together. It becomes a problem when you know the other one's strengths and you see them as a threat internally.
Sure.
So sometimes one of the mistakes was not identifying each other's strengths and weaknesses and how they'll be applied in business, and then those clashed.
So what happened to you then? Is this sounds very like you know what's going on here? Was there some internal competition with your business or what?
It was the nice thing is that this is happening with my best friend.
Okay.
So we were able to say, okay, listen, let's take a break from the business because this is not working. But then it was not just the business could have thrived, but because of the business relationship and the personal friendship and not understanding how it's supposed to be working was interfering with the business. That's
Sure.
kind of. So I won't go into detail.
This sounds juicy, yeah, but you don't want to
It
also.
is quite juicy,
You
but
don't.
you need to be very honest with yourself
Yeah.
as well in order to have a thorough and a full-on conversation. And because most likely the business didn't even need to pause if you addressed the issues. But yeah, leaving it at that.
But then I would say it's a good thing you paused because then you started shifting your focus into other avenues.
Yes, 100%.
And now you're on with the call center.
Now I'm on with the call center.
Tell me the tea here. Give me the
I only
problems.
joined the team in November. One of my strengths is marketing, and I think in every team it kind of gets easily identified. So currently I'm the director, head of marketing and sales. And the call center is the nice thing about my supervisor, I have to mention, it was Unathi Thetiwe. She's very positive.
Okay.
She will say well done to just us sending out an email. You've done a great job. You know, those things. So having that team and having that positivity, you know, in starting the business is sometimes she says to me, Unathi, you're already there. Basically, Unathi, you're already in the building. You already see the computers. You see the agents. You feel the buzz. So we are still at starting phase. We are still.
And how's that though? Like you being this visionary and seeing the bigger picture. Did that mean you have to pull yourself back a bit?
A lot.
Or how is this? But how was that for you? Because how is pulling yourself back feeling? And especially the case of someone else telling you that's so positive to rein yourself in.
So what makes this easy is that it's being said with love. As I said, partnership is like a marriage. So the communication comes through as love. so it doesn't offend me in any way. But now it means that I continuously have to be aware of myself, which in business you always need. You always evaluate yourself, you go back, you reflect, you do things better the next time. It's not easy being told because all four of us are entrepreneurs, but since you know where you're going, what you want to achieve, if it's going to tarnish that, you know you need to stop. You know what I'm saying? And you just become better at it. Sometimes, she actually pointed something out. She's like, whenever you want to say something, you're not sure how to say it or how it's going to land with the other person, you ask questions that lead to what you want to say.
Oh, you already give me the tips and tricks here. That's cool. Because I wanted to go into this whole discussion of how you move from being an individual business owner to a double partnership marriage, and now you're in a polygamous relationship now. But this is the entire whole discussion, and I think we can definitely unpack this online as well. So people want to join the conversation with Unathi, where you might have similar challenges, or you might want to know more about the call center or about her experience with the marriage of business. But the conflict management thing, I think, is very interesting. And when we come back, I want to look at how we do this conflict resolution, where your opinions might be different to the other person, and also the whole thing of working from home. That's still on my mind. But thanks, guys. This is Being a Business. I will see you after the break. And welcome back to Being in the Business on CTV. I'm your man, Thurston Wyngaard, and I'm in awe with this amazing woman. She's been doing the most. She has all this tea to spill, and there's all this good content around lessons learned. So this is Unathi Thetiwe, and she's been doing hair, cleaning service, now a call center as well. But the main things that we had here about the things of working from home, first of all, and those issues around working from home. But the big pull around here is the conflict management, because that's the thing I can see, that from the working from home situation of dealing with conflict in the home, dealing with the invasiveness in the home, even though you moved outside of the home, you still have this conflict management and ways of dealing with this when it comes to working with partners in the marriage that you've had, and also in the polygamous marriage of multiple partners working towards a single goal. And from what we've gathered, you are this woman that has these high standards for yourself. So you are the visionary, and you see in this future. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs can relate to that, where they see this bigger picture. But we also need to take the little baby steps to get there. And in the baby steps, we're going to stumble, we're going to fall, we're going to pick ourselves up, we're going to change direction, which I see you've done a lot in your business. And that's completely fine to do as an entrepreneur, is to see, okay, this isn't working, this is working, I'm going to go there. And it's not a case of hurting someone's feelings or looking after yourself or being selfish. The way you've handled it, and I want to unpack now how you've been able to handle that relationships, where you're able to walk away and still have a friend. Walk away, rent out a new place, and still have a family you can come home to. Because the working from home thing did put strain on the family.
100%.
So Unathi, tell me about this communication thing. I think maybe it might be a communication skill, but unpack a bit of how, if we were in a conflict situation now, how would you resolve our situation?
Got it. So what I've learned and what I'm still trying to master is listen more than you speak. I think it's Gary Vee. I don't know if you're familiar with him. It's a very
A YouTuber?
Yes,
Yeah.
him, the one that started with wine. Love that guy because he says a lot. So much freedom. Anyway, so one of the things that because other entrepreneurs listen to other leaders as well in order to get things right or to get more knowledge. And one of the things he said, I don't know if I'm going to say it word for word, but one of the things Nelson Mandela said, what he learned from his leaders was that listen to learn and speak last. Because what you've done is that you've gathered all the information, you've asked all the right questions. By the time you're addressing the people that you were listening to, everybody feels like they've contributed to what you have to say last. So sometimes it also means that with my family, I did not respond quickly to my sister. At some point, I didn't understand what it was all about, because I'm running a business. I need to go. You know what I'm saying? It's like acrimony, that guy. Anyone that's familiar with it. He's on the vision. He needs to get this right. This thing needs to blow
So you're
up.
on the guy's side in that movie.
I understand both. I understand. I've been on both ends, so I understand both sides. And so, but it got to a point, if she keeps on going, it's like a customer. If a customer keeps on going about the same thing, and they keep on saying they're unhappy, listen to what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? So it got to a point where I was like, you know what, I actually understand where my sister's coming from. And I need to make a decision of moving out. But it didn't get to a point of moving out because now quality affected the business in terms of how finances are going, and then that business was put on pause. And another thing that entrepreneurs should not be afraid to do, put things on pause. And sometimes if you've put things on pause, it means you can start something else, because something else will also show you more of your strengths.
Definitely.
And then when you go back, that business thrives even more than what you were doing, because now all of these lessons have come together as a collective.
I think that's definitely something that you can take from, what anyone can take from your journey, is you start something. It doesn't necessarily mean that it failed, but you've learned. And in the learnings of that business, you can take to your next business. And I can definitely see the growth in you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are other entrepreneurs out there that just want to go straight to the top. And that's quite fine, having this vision and this passion.
Yeah.
But also understand you need to take your levels and take your time and take your growth.
Yeah.
And that's the issue of you of saying now with how you dealt with the working from home and the communication issue. On the higher level, now that you are on this level of working with CEOs and other managers and other top people, you are one of them. And you are the one that has so much vision.
Yeah.
So how do you communicate with that? Is it the same strategy you use with your sister or and your customers? Or what is the difference between working in this environment where there's multiple people all being entrepreneurs and all trying to work towards something? And I'm sure they all even have their own goals, their own egos, their own motives. Is the communication strategy the same on that level? Or how do you deal with communication over there?
I hope someone will relate, or hope someone will be able to learn. This is what has been happening, now you know. While someone else is communicating, you also communicate with yourself. While Zandile is speaking, and because I also notice with us now, because the business is getting bigger and now there's so many things to do, and everybody has an opinion, everybody has their background. And you always want to say your part. Sometimes you need to learn when to withhold your part and when to let out your part. And being the ability for me personally to do that, I communicate with myself while she's communicating. So I learned to say, Unathi, like she also does sometimes like breathe. She speaks to herself, says breathe.
Oh.
Because she knows that she's getting to a point now, it's going to become too much and might overwhelm everyone else. So self-control, self-control, self-awareness, caring about the next person and how what you're about to say is going to land with them, and also having the vision at the end.
I like
don't want to
this.
mess up the vision. You don't want communication to be the reason why you guys are going to say, you know what, I'm done. I can't take it anymore.
Nice. This is like, wow, this is gold. You're spitting gold, Unathi. I want to ask if you could give information, content, advice to your younger self. What would you tell younger Unathi?
You have what it takes. Because doubt becomes a part of the journey as an entrepreneur. Where I was listening earlier as you were speaking to Marlon, and sometimes the reason why some entrepreneurs don't even knock in certain doors is because you doubt. You ask yourself, you pre-ask yourself questions, you answer them, and you think that's how it's going to go in that meeting, instead of just saying, you know what, I believe in this product, I believe in myself, and if it's okay, a no means that I've started and I'm going, and I can just keep going. So don't doubt yourself. You are everything that you need to get where you want to be. And allow yourself to be guided, whether it's by your intuition, whether it's by your belief system. Allow it to take you to places that you've never thought you'd go. And also understand doors have already been opened for you. Doors are already open for you. Just knock, seek, and you will find.
You are such a strong woman. It's been a pleasure having this conversation with you. I think if more people want to get in touch with Unathi, check her out online, check out the call center. I think with the entire team, it sounds like your project's going to be so successful, Unathi. So you can check us out online. If you even have similar stories you want to share with us, jump on the socials, pop us a message, comment, share, like, engage. We are the YouTubers. We are those ones making it. This is our time. This is being the business. See you next week.